Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome back to Runt9 Plays Good Company. I had just for a brief second started recording the next episode, but what I realized is that we were talking about grabbing this building here. I should have paid attention to the fact that it doesn't have an incoming and outgoing zone. So if I wanted to use this facility as the creation of take raw materials and build basic parts, use that to feed the intermediate, or I guess final part factory, and then use that to feed the assembly plant. Unfortunately, that won't work because this doesn't have an incoming and outgoing zone. I mean, it would work if you went through a lot of effort, but that actually seems like a really bad idea. So what we're gonna do instead is save up for this big building right here. It is 90 grand, but the reason I want to go this route is this facility over here is 35 grand, so we could actually afford that right now. But the problem is we would need to move things around quite a bit, and this is a very small facility. And I think this facility works out really well for assembly, at least for the moment. I think what we'll do later is we'll turn this into like the research building or something like that. But what I want to do is just, let's get saving up for this. Well, what does that mean we do right now with this cluster of problems in here? Well, so the main problem is this is filled up to the brim with plastic cases. We are overproducing. So what I think I want to do is actually have the plastic cases be made available for disassembly at the analysis desk. And the reason I say that is we have plenty to send over there. So are we at full bandwidth? We are not at full bandwidth. Plastic case goes there. Oh, plastic case. Oh, plastic case is already going there. I needed to drag it there. Got it. I'm totally smart. So this way we can start getting a little bit more going on there. I think just to speed up research as well, let's go ahead and build another analysis desk. And I realize that that sets us back 1,600 from our ultimate goal of getting into that bigger facility. But I think I'm okay with that. And I'm even going to go one step further and make this pathing even stranger. It just seems really dumb. So we're going to just temporarily block off this door, but it will get... That's the research desk. It did give us at least some of the money back. I'll take the L on that one. I'm not restarting again. I wanted an analysis desk. And so this actually fits in the outgoing zone without too much trouble. So we're going to do the same thing: plastic case, battery stack, LED array, and we might even consider doing simple circuits as well. But for the moment, drag that over, hire someone new to take care of that station. And that way we shouldn't end up with this awful standing around not producing anything situation. We definitely don't have a bottleneck over here. We actually could even ramp up assembly, although simple circuits are not being created super quickly. I don't necessarily know why that seems to be the slowest creation at the moment. And I'm okay if these guys end up in a bottleneck where they're unable to actually do the analysis, because I think that's totally fine. Research is going to go on no matter what. And the only thing with ramping up assembly is weekly demand is 15, and we're shipping out, so here it's Saturday. So we're probably going to ship out 12. No, we're going to ship out 10 more than likely. That definitely appears to have solved the bottleneck over here. I think part of it is also we have more storage. I mean, that's only 2 storage. This is 2 storage, but simple circuits are not getting overloaded at all. LED arrays also aren't getting overloaded either. That seems to not be a bottleneck at all. Mechanical parts are in short supply, so we actually need to grab a second shipment of electronic parts, because it seemed like these guys were actually waiting on electronic parts to come in. And this way, we should keep that supply nice and high. And so we're honestly just going to sit on the profit for a while. It would be ideal to get even more profit. Maybe we do run another assembly table. I just don't think we have quite the simple circuit production to support that right now. Now, that's not to say we couldn't ramp it up, because the circuit boards are in a perfectly good supply. We are actually starting to cap out on this shelf as well for the batteries. And I think that that's honestly just a logistics bottleneck. So hire another person, set them on this logistics panel. I thought for a second there that we had hit a maximum of some kind. It looks like, let's just see what our final sale ends up being. We finished up the metal case research. I'm just going to keep cranking through tier 3 stuff. So there's really not much left. We're going to need logic circuit in order to get to programmable circuit, so definitely grab that. Last week we sold 10. It looks like 10 is what we're selling this week as well. So if we assume that we are at 5 per table per week, then if we can ensure that our production doesn't get bottlenecked, which at this point, strangely enough, seems to be LED arrays. And I legitimately don't know how that's happening, because it's all 10 seconds a piece. We've got 3 battery production, and yet that is infinitely quicker. I do think that at this point, it's just a logistical problem. Oh, you know what? I think it's because, let's look at the design. Let me double check this. I think I have figured it out. We have 2 circuits, 1 battery, and 3 LED arrays. Okay, so that's why. That makes perfect sense, and I'm just dumb for not recognizing it. So at the moment, and let's just do some quick math here, you know, some napkin math. If we need 1 battery, 2 circuits, 3 LED arrays, and we're currently shipping 10 of these a month, or a week, that means that per week we are using 30 LED arrays, 20 circuits, 10 batteries, and 10 cases. That's why we got overloaded on the cases and batteries, but not on the LED arrays or the circuits, and why it seems like we're on that razor's edge for LED arrays. So it almost makes me curious if we should swap some production over. Give me 1 second here. Not gonna worry about that. We started research on logic circuits, I thought. Oh, I have to actually click start research. It helps if you do that. So what I actually think we want to do is stop sending LED arrays to this shelving unit for one. That is a bad bottleneck right there. So yeah, go ahead and kill all of the LED array ones here. And drop out of logistics mode, drop the LED arrays from both of these tables, because we only want to do, we only want to deconstruct excess. And so I'm actually going to just let that idly fall away. Actually, no, that's what's designated to go out. So we actually need to pull that into our inventory and push that into this shelf, which we have to actually move over to it in order to push it into the shelf, but that's fine. And so that basically means that we're going to end up still overproducing on cases, as you can tell. So I think it may even be better to take this Tinker table, rotate it around, and shift this to LED array production. This will actually maximize some things. I am going to kind of keep things going a little bit. Take this, rotate it this direction, and then before they start crafting again, switch that over to LED arrays, then set up the requisite logistics for this. Incoming, outgoing. And this shelf is still set up to do the right thing, so we're good there. So I think that this one case maker, and then I actually think that what I want to do is grab this tinker table and scooch it down here to work on simple circuits, and then just go 1-to-1 on cases. I think that one case, because basically the way it should be right now is we should have one battery, one case, 2 circuits, and 3 arrays times 2, essentially. If you go for a perfect production line, you actually want a little bit more because of the logistics time of transporting the materials, but now I think we're going to run low on simple cases by switching this person over. We're going to be perfectly fine on LED arrays. Because basically I want to get to the point where we're good enough to run a 3rd production table. In fact, the best way to find that bottleneck is to create the bottleneck intentionally. And again, like, I realize we are spending money, but sometimes you do actually have to spend money to make money. As awful as that cliche may be, what we actually need to do is take this assembly table, and we're actually not going to worry about the incoming zone right this second, because as far as I'm concerned, there's never going to be an incoming here. Then we will set this up to do my first handheld. We will set up the incoming logistics, the outgoing logistics. That seems good to me. And then let's hire an employee to staff that assembly table. And so now we should start running into bottlenecks, and you know, it's Kanban. And if you don't know what Kanban is, it's used in many different industries, but it started out in factories. Basically, Kanban is, you know, a lot of what we're doing right here with this super huge amount of excess stock, like, that's just obscene. And like, we should cut down that bandwidth big time. And I'm definitely going to drop the bandwidth on that. So like, you want to be as close to having no inventory as possible, in the sense that, like, if you are backing up somewhere, if you have, you know, too many circuit boards here, then there's not enough simple circuit workers pulling from the stock. You basically want to hand things off directly. And it's basically a game of prioritizing, finding the next bottleneck and making that better. So I'm legitimately just going to walk over here and sell off these electronic parts because they're just excess. But we have to move to the outgoing zone in order to do that. You have to click that. We'll let that go out with this shipment. So my assumption is that we're going to start to see a bottleneck on this shelving rack, probably in the realm of LED arrays and simple circuits, which, lo and behold, that's where the bottleneck is. So batteries, we're still completely full, and that's even with deconstructing them. Cases, still full on cases. Simple cases looks like that's potentially going to be an issue. But I think that what we want to do is... And the thing is, all of this is going to change when we switch models again. And that's the other interesting aspect of this. We actually had a big weekly profit, probably from... Oh no, we're up to 13 game devices, but that's because we had a little bit of excess stock that we needed to burn off. Because we are not going to be able to maintain that for this upcoming week. So what do? I mean, because they're legitimately lining up to drop batteries off. And that's just not a good way to do business. So we're going to grab this tinker table in construction mode and scooch this over. That's a good spot. And then we're going to grab this and scooch it 1 just so we still have a walking path. And then we're going to switch this over to simple circuits. Look at our logistics. That's an incoming from here, I would assume. Or no, it's incoming and outgoing to the same rack. Easy enough. Same worker can handle that. And now that adds one more to our simple circuit production. And it's getting to the point where I feel like we're probably going to need more circuit board production. I think we're going to start seeing a circuit board bottleneck. Nope, not logistics workplace. Shelving rack. We completed the research on the logic circuit. I believe that's everything in tier 3 except the beeper. I'm not going to worry about. Let's start working on tier 4. I think since the next display is quite a ways off, let's go for a reinforced case. And it is going to be a little while before I want to upgrade our primary selling product, our primary product. That's what I'm going for. Because again, I really want to save up, get this. We're turning a pretty solid profit each week. Or no, this week hasn't gone out yet. It's going out here pretty soon. And it looks like we're just going to get back to the 10 that we were at before. We basically had our production line at not necessarily peak efficiency, but well, we certainly weren't at peak efficiency, but we were running pretty close to the ragged edge. So we sold 11 products for $94.80 and only got... Does that not sell? I don't know why that's not selling. We'll figure it out. So now, how are we doing on LED arrays? We're not building up much stock there, and we still don't have enough LED arrays. And it makes sense, because we should theoretically have 6 of these tables going. Question is, can we really afford to squeeze more in? We are out of simple cases there. So I wonder what happens. Here's what we're gonna do. Enter building mode, go to move tool, pick this up, and set this like so. And then grab this tinker table and put it, probably gonna want to put it like there. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to rotate this one around. Up out of construction mode. We're gonna switch this one over to simple cases while keeping this one on plastic cases. No path to target. You should be able to figure it out here in a moment. And then we're gonna switch you over to LED arrays. Now let's handle the requisite logistics. Incoming, outgoing. You are incoming, outgoing. And now let's hop back out and see where we go. We need to ramp up circuit production. So that's just a very simple, go into construction mode. We're going to rotate this. I know we're going to block that door, but that's honestly fine for the moment. This medium shelf being accessed from that direction is still going to be the most ideal way to do it. And then, yeah, we'll do that. I'm okay blocking that door for the time being. We need to get this tinker table on circuit boards. Logistics is incoming from the shelf, outgoing to the shelf. Let's go. And then we should probably hire an employee to work that. Now this should get our circuit board production ramped up. We definitely have a bottleneck on that at the moment, but with 2 people, that should theoretically double our output of circuit boards. Still bottlenecked on LED arrays for the moment. I think because this person is now incredibly blocked. Go back there. Yeah, so our LED array production didn't actually get ramped up. Yes, there is no path to target. You are completely correct. I have blocked everybody off with this. How do you fix this? Honestly, probably should just redo all of this. Okay, this is getting a little bit spicy. Think about what's going to be the most efficient layout. I honestly don't know what the most efficient layout is going to be here. Okay, so move this over here for the moment. If we switch this to just be more production line like, the problem is you have to walk all the way around to get back there. Why I think that's bad. Now, I like this setup. It works fine, but I don't know how to squeeze another LED array creator in here without completely ruining literally everything else. Like right there would kind of work, but then there's no place to put shelves. But what if we turn you this direction? Because then they have no path. Yeah. If we do that, that doesn't seem too bad. You have to walk all the way around there to get to the shelf, though. Okay. This is a problem. We can't put it in any of the places that I want to put it. Can we move the shelf to a better spot? I don't think this gets us any additional assistance. So I think I'm just kind of in a position where basically everything would need to move, or we need to shift the cases around. Which actually, I think we can do that. We can shift the cases around to add more LED array stuff over here. What if we put you there and you there? That would block the door. I know this is probably like incredibly frustrating to watch. I don't see how that really helps me though. Man, my brain is just like scrambled right now. I've completely lost any sense of what I was doing. And there's all this open floor in the center. So what if we attempt to use this space a bit more efficiently? Pathing is definitely a problem at the moment. But maybe, just maybe, I can come up with a solution that I don't hate and allows us to get LED array production ramped up over here. And I believe that could potentially even give us room for a sixth one. But now we can put this shelving unit right about there. I mean, honestly, we could put it in the middle of the walkway, but I'm not actually going to do that. So let's stop for a second, figure out what things look like, and just kind of recenter ourselves. I need to get my mind focused back on, okay, is this actually going to work? Okay, the problem is these people have to come over here for parts. So I actually think kill all of these nodes and instead drop electronic parts there. And that way this can supply the tinker tables. Is it more logistics to deal with? Yeah, absolutely. But then it means you walk over, grab your tool, your parts, go do the thing, walk back and drop it off. So they're going to put a bunch of parts on that shelf, and that should do the trick. Let's see how this gets us going. And the puzzly, Tetris-y nature of this is so good. Like, I realized that I spent probably 5 minutes there just staring dead blank at the screen. And if you're still watching, I really appreciate you still being here right now. I know that was like the most boring thing ever. But if you're still here, much appreciated. And I'm very happy with the way this turned out. In fact, I think we can optimize this just a little bit more simply by rotating that shelf. Sorry, still am getting over my totally not COVID, so I do apologize for the having to mute my mic and deal with coughing and whatnot. Seems like our circuit board production is okay. It doesn't look like our plastic cases are running into any bottlenecks. Our battery production is not bottlenecking. How does our stock look over here? Looks like we've got our simple circuits good to go. LED arrays are still in a rough spot though. Selling 9 per week, our profit margin is not particularly good at the moment. Electronic parts are getting there, but not enough LED arrays are getting there. So, this is where you add a 6th tinker table. Plastic cases are good. Batteries are super good. Simple cases, plastic cases. Simple cases seem to be keeping up with demand just enough. LED array production is ramping up. We've got 8 ready to roll. Just need to get the arrays over there. It's a logistical problem. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take one employee that's on this logistics pole and shift you to this logistics center. We should still be in an okay logistical situation, but again, just keep looking for those bottlenecks. Keep running your Kanban. The LED arrays just drain so quickly. All right. Give me one more tinker table then. Where do we put it? Not right there. We've learned our lesson. We put it right there and we scooch the shelf by 1. Yeah, I think that's the answer. Move the shelf down by 1. Give me a tinker table right there. And make some LED arrays. This is going to be simple logistics. It's in from there, out to there. Give me one more employee. And you go make LED arrays. And this should be the right ratios. We're back up to 11 per week. Not nearly as much profit margin from that because we've hired a bunch of employees and bought a bunch of stuff. But market progress, the game device market has advanced to phase 2. So let's pause and see what that does for us. So now the expected features include sound quality. And this is where our market rating has now completely tanked. So sound quality is needed from a speaker, which unless I'm mistaken comes after beeper. Yeah, that's a tier 5 thing. So it has completely bypassed our current research. So this is why the phases are important. That's a really rough problem. Because we have no sound quality whatsoever. I guess a basic beeper does still count as a speaker. So let's look at it. Going back to game device. Sound quality can be added with speaker. So let's go look at the research tree. Does beeper add sound quality? We don't actually know. Well, we are at a pretty rough market rating. We're going to start losing market share. Let's find out what that effect is. We are also about to hit milestone 2, which unlocks a couple other things: basic workbench, electronics workbench, and additional market demands from levels 1 and 2. So that's probably also where we're going to close out the episode once milestone 2 is hit. We are still 20 grand away from getting where we need to be. The basic workbench, electronics workbench, chemistry table, carpet. So let's learn a little bit about that real quick. So electronics workbench builds a simple circuit in 4 seconds instead of 10 seconds, as opposed to a tinker table, which literally anything you do at a tinker table is 10 seconds. Basic workbench gets you cases and plastic parts in 4 seconds. Chemistry table gets you circuit boards and batteries and LED arrays in 4 seconds. So this seems like you just want to go through and upgrade everything, even though it's going to be like really rough from a profit perspective. So that's where we're going to leave this episode off. We still need to start turning a lot more of a profit if we want to get to the 90 grand we need for this facility. But once we get this facility, oh man, is production going to ramp up. It looks like if we want to stay in the game device market, we got to pick up a beeper. And we are sitting on plenty of research data now. I think we should even consider getting another research desk and going in hard on research to get that beeper. So the automation whack-a-mole continues. The Kanban bottleneck finding and mashing is so much fun. I'm having a great time with good company. But for now, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know your feedback, likes, comments. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. In addition, you can find me at Runt9 Plays on Twitter, or check the link tree in the description that has a link to the Discord or the community that I have set up. And in addition, at the moment, streaming 5 days a week over on twitch.tv/Runt9Plays. Go follow over there. If we hit 50 followers, I'm doing a big charity stream to try to fight COVID-19. I'd love to see you there as well. But until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I will see you later.